Today we're going to be looking at Just Jane's shop. Now I've taken a detailed look at this website and there are lots of great merchandise here and there's lots of incredible potential. You've done great images and on your homepage there's a lot of great images there. I love this whole photo slideshow. That all looks great. All that being said, there is a lot of work that needs to happen. Most of this has to do with navigation. So let's go over a couple things. So love the logo, love the branding here, but we're still missing a favicon at the top here. So this is just blank. So take, a little bit of your logo here or something else that defines you, maybe just JJ, and make that into a favicon so that your website has one. Another thing at the bottom here, we've got the powered by Shopify. You can very easily get rid of that as well. So let's take a bit of a look at your navigation and your headers. So first off, in the boundless theme, you have to click here in order to get the catalog and get the drop down. There's also your header bar here, but it currently doesn't have a nested drop-down menu for your different categories. So for customers to really be able to see your products, they have to go into here, and then even there, the products aren't displayed right away. You have to click the little plus there, and then you start to have some of your collections there. So for a customer, that is a lot of clicks. And this is a big thing. This is how many clicks it takes for a customer to get to a product, to get to checkout, to actually buying your product. You want to minimize those clicks down to the very bare minimum. I would actually recommend you use the Brooklyn theme. It's a similar concept to what you have here, and it works well with the type of branding that you're going for, but the navigation on it is so much better. It's so much clearer to customers how to get your product, how to purchase your product. So let's go into one of your products. These images are huge, and also your price doesn't show up until you actually hover over them. So one, it's difficult for customers to gauge whether they want to buy something because they'd have to actually hover over to see the price. The other thing is, if you're having a sale, that sales price doesn't show up unless they actually hover over the particular product that you have on sale. Again, huge images up top. Your customers don't actually see the title of your product, the different options it comes in, and most importantly, to add it to the cart or buy now until they scroll down a full page. So you want to compress that. You most likely want to have like one image here, potentially a little bit smaller, and then the different images inlaid in that so that they can click through and see the three different images that are here. And the other thing is, your title does not tell me what your product is. I actually had to read through a lot of your description before I actually found out what your product was. This is, portable power supply for your phone. So you need to tell your customers right off the bat. So let's take a look at the SEO for your site. So for your homepage is very good. It says exactly what your store is about, and then has a lot of great keywords about what your store is trying to sell for. So your homepage is really well done. That being said, if we take a look at some of your products, you start to lose that optimization towards being searched on Google and being found by customers. Within the first 100 characters, which is about there, it doesn't even say what it is, and you want to have that very much at the start. Shopify automatically grabs your product description and puts that as your SEO. However, you can go into your products when you're adding them and change what the SEO is so that it's different from your product description, or you can just make your product description very compact and very to the point with those keywords in so that when Shopify automatically does the SEO, it grabs that information. So let's look into your collections now. So you have a couple of different collections here. They're they've got some great funky names to them, and I get what you're going for with the different sort of styles and groupings, but you want to make sure you break it down into something super simple for the customer. You want a drop down that says bags. You want a drop down that says hats. You want a drop down for those different categories and collections in that regard. So you want to have like a nested drop down, and then maybe have these sort of groupings in a different nested drop down that says, something about, the different seasons or what, different feelings or whatnot. But you want to make sure that you do have that nested drop down for the specific products that you are selling. Going back to your homepage, if we look at the footer menu, it's not very typical and there's a couple things that are missing. Typically, what we have is a column or two of information, and you might want to invest in that. You can keep it like this if there's only a couple links there, but after a certain point, it just becomes too much. I would not recommend putting the search there right at the start. You should probably have that in the header of your website there, not in the footer. And there are a couple of things you want, such as, contact, about us. You have your privacy policy and FAQs here as well as returns, which is great. You need to add a couple more of those links there. You take a look at a couple websites, it'll do a very typical spiel about the different things that people can access. Another thing I notice is that there is no newsletter sign up thing at the bottom footer. It's kind of in the middle of your site. It's very difficult to find. You want to make it easy for people to be able to subscribe to your newsletter because this is a great way of getting loyalty to your brand. Oftentimes, when you have a landing page, they'll have actually like a newsletter pop up that says, you sign up now, you get a certain discount or a different amount off, which you've got, but it's down here and nobody's going to find it there. And you need to make sure that there are links to that either in the top here in that header or in the bottom here. Another thing that I've noticed with your footer menu is that you don't have links to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, none of those social outlets. And those are huge at getting customers. For your type of product, Instagram would be particularly useful as well as Pinterest. You can definitely do it on Facebook as well, but those are going to be great ways of getting people to find your products and be able to purchase it right away. So make sure that you add those sales channels to your store and make sure that you actually provide links to them. Facebook is also great. You definitely want to add those. Within your products themselves, people can tweet about them and whatnot. So that's my review of Just Jane Shop. There's a lot of potential here. You have great products. You just need to make it super easy for the customers to be able to find your products and to buy them.